All right, we're back. It is approximately 4:02 in the morning right now, about 2 hours after I recorded and posted my last video, and I am still awake because I physically cannot fall asleep. I said in the last one that I was going to go into some details about what the withdrawal symptoms have been like for me, and I would like to do that here, as well as talk some about the motivation for me towards quitting and what life felt like during that month of successfully quitting marijuana earlier this year. Because I need to be nostalgic for that if I want this to work. I need to realize that at the end of that month, I felt better than I had probably ever felt in a long time, maybe for my entire life. I felt healthier, I felt more motivated, and I let it all come crashing down again. But this is why I need to try again, and this is why I'm here. This is what I'm talking to you guys about. Let me start with the withdrawal symptoms though. I know that everybody goes through different things. Some people might not even experience withdrawals from not smoking weed, but for me, when it's literally been part of my every fiber of existence for about half my life, it's like my body is screaming the entire time I try to stop. It takes about 2 weeks for things to really start to calm down. Well, let me just start by expressing what's going on right now. In the last 2 days, within 12 hours of not smoking a bowl, like not even exaggerating, 12 hours, that's how often I would smoke. Within 12 hours, I developed an extremely excruciating stomachache that has persisted and has not gone away yet. It's calmed a bit with food. I like to think sugary beverages help, but they probably don't. But point being, my stomach is dissolving because apparently it needs weed to survive. That's been really rough because it just makes me feel, generally speaking, like total shit. How about the fact that, like I said, I can't sleep. I think I've gotten 3 hours of sleep in the last 48 hours, and I'm starting to feel a little fucking neurotic, which is another factor in all of this. And when I did sleep, I woke up drenched in sweat, which is not something that typically happens at all. And it did not help that that sweat reeked of marijuana, which, like, that just tells you how much THC is just in my system or something. Like, it's just a bit outrageous. So that's been the last 48 hours. I'm sweating a lot. I'm just feeling gross. I can't sleep. And I noticed today in particular is the mood swings are gonna start. I remember this distinctly from my last attempt. I just get really fucking angry. I get very impatient. I just lose all my sense of being chill. Like, I recall the last time I literally would just go out of my way to cuss out people I thought were stupid on Facebook just because it felt good. Like, I was letting something out, and otherwise I would just, I can't just smoke weed to put my brain into an alternate place. No, anything that would race through my brain, I would have to deal with in the moment. And that is really one of the most complicated parts of quitting for me. Actually having to deal with my own thoughts and the reality without just automatically shifting it with a bong rip. And I know how outrageous that might sound to some people, but when you just grow so accustomed to changing reality through substances, dealing with your just natural thought processes is not normal, and you start to really question who you are and what the last, well, for me, 10 years of being constantly high has done to me and my personality and my desires and pretty much everything. A part of me, if I lose my train of thought here, sometimes, like I said, I just haven't slept. I'm just gonna keep rambling and see where this goes. But the mood swings are just crazy, man. I don't want to feel this way. I don't want to ever have to go through this again, which is why I'm like, I need to just quit. I need to just stop. I can't create an excuse to smoke in a month because I reward myself or whatever. I need to just learn to be content with reality and find healthier, different ways to improve my mental state or distract myself from something that might be upsetting me. And that's difficult. A major thing for me has been exercise, and I know that's a very cliche thing to say, but when I'm exercising in particular, I boulder. When I go bouldering, I get to hyper focus my energy on something totally physical and just like focus on being on the wall and doing whatever there, and all thoughts just kind of leave except for climbing and physical exertion, which is a bit euphoric for me. But the problem with that is that I obviously can't go bouldering for like 8 hours in a day. I can't go every day without risking injury, and that leaves me with a lot of time in my thoughts. And I wouldn't say it's necessarily healthy either to just try and use exercise as a dissociative the way that I used marijuana as a dissociative. And that's another thing. Another thing I wasn't quite willing to admit for a long time is that I used it to dissociate from things that I just didn't want to think about or deal with. Any traumas in my life, any stressors, anything that might even slightly test me, I would smoke weed, listen to some music, maybe, if not, just fucking pass out, play some video games, just become the ultimate epitome of laziness. And hey, nothing wrong with playing video games, but when you're high playing video games, you are just not like mentally connected in the way you are when you're zoned in and sober. But sorry, I lost my train of thought again. It's tough, man. I don't feel good right now. I am going through massive lows and like slight highs because I know that like I can do this. I've done it before, but I also deal and struggle with the fact that all of these withdrawal symptoms can be cured by a fucking bong rip. I have weed in my house right now that I could just go smoke and make myself go to sleep because I can't fucking sleep, and that sounds very nice right now. And I can't just get rid of the weed in my house because I'm not the only one in the house that consumes marijuana. It's just, I gotta be able to practice full self-control and not use it even when it's around me. I'm gonna sidetrack here just very slightly and talk about just general motivations for wanting to quit, wanting to better my life. Like I said, it just makes you dissociate from everything. You take things less seriously. I don't want to say you. I did, at least. I just would not process things in a way that I'm not fully processing. Neither am I right now because I'm sleep deprived, but when I'm high, I am just taking the path of least resistance at all time just for comfort. I will go to work high and just do the very bare minimum and just be content with it because it's like, I don't know, in my head, I'm like, just above needing to be sober to function properly. I don't know, like, how that sounds, but it's just how my brain has rationalized all this for a long time. And the biggest desire when it comes to everything for me is just physical health. Smoking for 10 years straight, no matter what it is, cigarettes or marijuana, like, my lungs gotta be a little fucked right now. Like, I smell like taking like 10 bong rips a day. Like, there's a lot of tar in there, I'm sure. Also, just physical lung capacity, energy, motivation. Motivation's a huge one. You know, it is so easy to be content with staying in one place when you are high and all the time. There's no push. There's no challenging yourself in your head. You're just kind of like at one level. I keep saying and you're just gonna have to like understand that I'm talking about myself and not trying to place my experience on anybody else, but there's just no challenging myself when I'm high. It's just trying to be comfortable. But comfort doesn't necessarily equate to the best path. Sometimes in order to improve your future and your life, you have to intentionally seek discomfort, if that makes any sense. That's what I had to do when I got my job 4 or 5 months ago. I've dealt with a lot of mental health issues over the last 10 years, probably. Who'd have thought? Maybe it has something to do with the weed. But because of those mental health issues, I lost my train of thought again. Yeah. I mean, you're just seeing the real experience right now for me. I am I'm sweating, I'm sleep deprived, my thought processes are just, they're not connected. And this is what it looks like 2 days without weed, when you smoke weed all day, every day, and make it your fucking life. It's not fun. I feel disgusting. I don't want to go through this. I know that it's going to be at least another 2 weeks before I even start feeling slightly better. And that's just a fucking hellish thought to even have to wrap my head around. Because why would I want to intentionally make myself feel bad? But the rationality there is that by intentionally making myself feel bad through going through these withdrawal symptoms, I will come out the other side in a clearer space with more motivation and more ambition. This is a tested theory. This is exactly what happened last time, even though somehow that wasn't enough for me to just tell myself, don't do this again, don't do this again. I think this is something that I need to learn my lesson over time with, and while I'm not sure I'm ready to say I'm never gonna smoke weed again, I sure as hell am gonna put in the effort right now and see what happens. I'm too old for this shit, man. I don't want to be 30 years old, working minimum wage jobs, stoner, failing drug tests, just being content with nothing. I have so much that I wish to do in the future. I have so much potential, and everybody around me sees that potential, and I don't want to waste that potential. So I need to do this not just for others, but just for myself, for my future, for me in 5 years. I want to be able to look back on this and say that I made an intentional choice to better my life, and it worked. And I know I can do that. I know you can do it if you want to. I know anybody can do it. It's just, we have way more control than we think we have. You just gotta fucking fight. And the fight's not gonna be easy. In fact, it might fucking suck a lot, but you gotta fight, man. Alright, that's it for now. I'll see you guys later. Thank you for watching.